Ever pause to consider your self-care routines or mindfulness practices? Or perhaps you're not quite sure what mindfulness even means. Well, let's clarify that for you. Self-care is the act of taking care of our physical, emotional, and mental health. It's about prioritizing our well-being and acknowledging that it's not just okay, but necessary, to put ourselves first sometimes. On the other hand, mindfulness is a type of meditation where you focus on being intensely aware of what you're sensing and feeling in the moment, without interpretation or judgment. It's about living in the present and embracing each experience as it comes. Both of these practices play a crucial role in our daily lives, helping us to promote mental and emotional resilience. In this video, we're going to delve deeper into these concepts, exploring their benefits, and how they can positively impact our overall well-being. So, fasten your seatbelts as we embark on this journey towards understanding self-care and mindfulness. So, what exactly do we mean by self-care? A question often asked but seldom fully understood. Self-care, in essence, is the act of caring for our own physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. It's about taking time to nourish and rejuvenate ourselves in whatever manner that suits us best. Let's delve into these dimensions a bit. Physical self-care may involve activities like eating nutritious foods, engaging in regular exercise, and ensuring we get adequate sleep. These actions support our body's health and vitality, making us feel more energized and ready to tackle the challenges of life. Emotional self-care, on the other hand, is about acknowledging and expressing our feelings. It's about allowing ourselves the space to experience emotions without judgment, whether that's through journaling, talking with a trusted friend, or practicing mindfulness. Emotional self-care helps us to better understand ourselves and our reactions to the world around us. The spiritual dimension of self-care is perhaps the most personal, as it's closely tied to our individual beliefs and values. It might involve meditation, prayer, spending time in nature, or participating in a religious or spiritual community. This form of self-care nourishes our inner self and helps us to feel connected to something greater than ourselves. Despite the many benefits of self-care, there are common misconceptions that can hinder its practice. Some people view self-care as a luxury or indulgence, something to be squeezed in when there's spare time. Others might see it as a selfish act, prioritizing one's own needs over those of others. However, these views fail to recognize that self-care is a fundamental aspect of maintaining our health and well-being. It's not about being selfish, but about sustaining our capacity to care for others. Moreover, self-care is not a one-size-fits-all concept. What works for one person might not work for another. It's about finding what resonates with us, what rejuvenates us, and making a commitment to incorporate those activities into our daily lives. Remember, self-care is not an indulgence, but a necessity for our overall well-being. It's about nurturing every aspect of ourselves, so we can show up in the world as the best version of ourselves. So let's shake off those misconceptions and start embracing the practice of self-care. Now, you might be wondering, why is self-care so important? Well, let's dive right into it. Self-care is paramount for several reasons. Primarily, it plays a significant role in maintaining our mental health. You see, when we take time to care for ourselves, we're essentially telling our minds that we're worth caring for. This can boost our self-esteem and contribute to a positive self-image, which is a crucial aspect of mental health. Furthermore, self-care fosters emotional resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and it's easy to get swept up in the turbulence. But when we regularly practice self-care, we're essentially building a buffer against these inevitable stresses. This resilience can help us navigate life's challenges with more grace and less strain. But the benefits of self-care go beyond our mental and emotional well-being. It also impacts our productivity. Think about it. Have you ever tried to work or study when you're exhausted or stressed out? It's like trying to run a marathon with a backpack full of rocks. But when we take care of ourselves, we're essentially lightening that load, making it easier to move forward and accomplish our goals. Now, these aren't just fluffy, feel-good statements. There's a wealth of research to back up these claims. Studies have shown that self-care practices like regular exercise and adequate sleep can reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. And research from the American Psychological Association has found that self-care can help manage stress and promote overall well-being. So, We're not just talking about bubble baths and spa days here. We're talking about regular intentional actions to care for our physical, mental, and emotional health. We're talking about setting boundaries, taking breaks, nourishing our bodies, and nurturing our minds. So as you can see, self-care is not a luxury, but a vital component of our mental and emotional health. Let's now turn our attention to another essential concept: mindfulness. In its simplest form, mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and engaged in the moment, aware of where we are and what we're doing, and not overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. It's about training our minds to focus on the present moment rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. This might sound straightforward, but in today's fast-paced world, it's easier said than done. Our minds are often cluttered with thoughts, worries, and to-do lists, which can make it challenging to stay present and focused. At its core, mindfulness is about observation without criticism, being compassionate with ourselves. It involves tuning into our thoughts and feelings without judging them, without believing, for instance, that there's a right or wrong way to think or feel in a given moment. Now let's debunk some common misconceptions about mindfulness. One of the most prevalent misunderstandings is that mindfulness is about achieving a state of eternal happiness or striving for a mind empty of thoughts. This simply isn't true. Mindfulness isn't about suppressing our thoughts or feelings. It's about acknowledging them without judgment. It's not about achieving a state of constant bliss, but rather about accepting the full spectrum of human emotions and experiences. Another misconception is that mindfulness is a religious or spiritual practice. While it's true that mindfulness has roots in Buddhism, it's not inherently religious or spiritual. It's a mental practice that anyone can adopt, regardless of their religious beliefs or lack thereof. Lastly, some believe that mindfulness requires a significant time commitment, or that it can only be practiced in certain settings, like a quiet meditation room. In reality, mindfulness can be practiced anytime, anywhere, even while doing everyday tasks like washing dishes or brushing our teeth. Mindfulness, thus, is not about emptying our minds, but about being fully present in the moment. So, why should we bother practicing mindfulness? Well, the benefits of mindfulness are many and scientifically proven. Let's delve into a few of them. Firstly, mindfulness is a powerful tool for stress reduction. In our fast-paced world, stress is almost inevitable. However, by practicing mindfulness, we can train our minds to better handle this stress. When we're mindful, we're present, aware of where we are and what we're doing, without becoming overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's happening around us. This awareness can help us respond to stress in a more calm, balanced manner, rather than react impulsively. Secondly, mindfulness aids in emotional regulation. It encourages us to experience our feelings fully, to accept them without judgment, and to let them go without holding on to them. This practice can help us to reduce negative emotional reactions and increase our ability to manage our emotions. It's like giving ourselves permission to feel, to experience the full range of our emotions without getting stuck in any one of them. Moreover, mindfulness can enhance cognitive function. It can improve our ability to focus, increase our memory capacity, and promote creativity. When we practice mindfulness, we're essentially training our brains to be more efficient and effective. Just imagine, the power to boost our brain's performance is literally at our fingertips, or rather, within our minds. Research has backed up these claims. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that participants who practiced mindfulness experienced lower levels of stress and showed improved emotional regulation. Another research published in the Journal of Cognitive Enhancement showed that mindfulness practice significantly improved focus, memory, and creativity among participants. Now let's pause for a moment and think about these benefits. Reduced stress, improved emotional regulation, enhanced cognitive function. These are not just nice-to-haves. They're essential for our overall mental and emotional well-being. Therefore, practicing mindfulness can be a powerful tool to enhance our mental and emotional well-being. Let's recap what we've learned today. We've taken a deep dive into the realms of self-care and mindfulness. We've explored the significance of self-care, how it's not just about pampering ourselves, but about nurturing our body, mind, and spirit. We've also unraveled the concept of mindfulness, understanding it as being present and fully engaged with whatever we're doing at the moment. It's about not being overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. We've highlighted the key role these practices play in fostering our mental and emotional health. They equip us with resilience, helping us bounce back from life's challenges with grace and fortitude. So let's not treat these practices as one-off activities. Let's integrate them into our daily lives, making them a part of our routine. Remember, taking care of ourselves and practicing mindfulness is not a one-time event, but a lifelong journey. So, start today and see the difference it makes in your life. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on the bell notification to be notified anytime we upload a new video.